You're listening to a special podcast of all things ADHD in response to the coronavirus pandemic. I'm your host, Susan Booning, and I'm here today with Robert Cattoi, CHADD's CEO. Good morning, Bob. How are you today?
I am well. How are you, Susan?
Very well, thank you. Bob, can you tell me in what ways CHADD is ready to help people with ADHD during this COVID-19 pandemic?
So this COVID-19 outbreak is certainly a stressful time for everyone. And during this time, levels of anxiety caused by this pandemic become problematic. Our ability to focus on our work, on studies, on home may become more difficult, and this can certainly become an issue with those with ADHD. Know that the CHADD National Office is open. We are all working virtually from home. We are ready to help. We have our call center helpline is working. Our online support groups are working. We have informative blogs. We have a great deal of information on our website. And we have a lot of current news and information going out on our newsletters. So please know that we are here and ready to help at any time.
What kind of information is CHADD covering currently in the blogs, and what are some of the issues that are concerning people that we are addressing in the blogs?
Well, certainly with many schools closed, we have information on how to help parents with expert tips on children being home and homeschooling. We have tips and information on what it's like to work from home and ideas on how to make your home work environment more productive. A lot of the work we have on our website are recommended resources for the COVID-19 outbreak, and also just some information on resilience and routines for families. So we've got a lot of tips for parents, a lot of information for to help them BH during this time while they are primarily homebound.
So in-person meetings are strongly discouraged or even forbidden during this time. So how are the CHADD chapters conducting their support groups? Can folks reach out to them?
Absolutely reach out to our local chapters. We have over 115 local chapters around the country. Most of those chapters have moved now to virtual meetings using either Zoom or WebEx or Skype or some other platform. They're working very carefully to make sure that your confidentiality remains and that you work within these meetings. Obviously, it's not the same as an in-person meeting, but we're trying to maintain that community, and those local chapters are working very hard to be there to support you.
If parents are looking for professional help for their children or even for themselves, can CHADD help them find a professional?
Absolutely. I would recommend everyone go to the CHADD resource directory, our webpage, which lists all the professional associations and individuals. You can find local support and local professionals to help you who diagnose and treat ADHD.
So people are being advised to get a 3-month supply of their prescribed medications. But how can people who are on stimulant ADHD medications, which are Schedule II controlled substances, how can they get a 3-month supply?
So our public policy committee has been looking into this for the last 2 months. There are no national restrictions on 3-month prescriptions for Schedule II drugs. But according to the pharmacist manual, that's one of the things you might want to point out to your local pharmacist. Prescriber may issue multiple prescriptions, authorizing a patient to receive up to a 90-day supply of most ADHD medications, which are often Schedule II controlled substances. There are some caveats to this. Every prescription must be written separately for each 30-day supply, and the prescriber must indicate the earliest date the pharmacy can fill each of these prescriptions. This information is on our CHADD website, and I would encourage you to come to our website and read more about this.
Can you talk a bit about why people should join CHADD, especially at this time?
So I think it's important for all of us to connect with our community. We're obviously all in this together. We want everyone to realize you're not alone. There's a lot more information on the CHADD website that's not upfront and available to the public. There's a lot of information behind the login, which has past information from our Attention magazine, and it has a great deal of information on our parent-to-parent and teacher-to-teacher programs and upcoming adult-to-adult programs. You get discounted pricing on all those programs. It's nice to get the Attention magazine. It has a great deal of information in it. Please know that our editorial advisory board continues to work to make sure that that information is up to date and relevant to what's going on in the world right now. And also, I think the other important feature is you do get a discount card for dining, which will be opening up at some point, obviously, shopping, but prescription drugs as well. But I think most importantly is that we're looking at a community. We're all in this together, and we're all working together with a strength and unity to move forward throughout this pandemic. Know that our public policy group is working carefully and watching what's going on at the Department of Education and with the federal negotiations right now for helping those going through this pandemic. Our professional advisory boards are working very carefully to make sure we have the best information available. And really, our conference committee is still moving forward, planning our conference for November, assuming that will be taking place. But we're planning our conference in Dallas, which will be a great gathering for all of those who need support and looking for additional information on ADHD. And if you remember, you get a discount to that conference. So I would strongly recommend everyone come to the CHADD website, and be a great time to become a member and work together with all of us throughout this pandemic period.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
You know, I think one of the most important things we can remember throughout all this is that we're all in this together, and that those with children at home, you're worried about their academic skills, but really most importantly is looking at over your own mental health and the mental health of your children, and know that when all this is over with, they'll remember how they felt during this time, much more than the academic skill you're trying to get them to achieve during this time. So please keep that in mind, that take care of yourself, take care of your family during this time, and know that CHADD is here available to help any way we can.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, Susan.
In this time of crisis, we know everyone in our community is facing tremendous pressures, and CHADD and its National Resource Center on ADHD are here to help. We are committed to continuing to be the resource on which you can rely. For more information, visit our website at chadd.org and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest.